Imagine waking up one day to realize that everything you thought you knew about how to live a fulfilling life, how to think, and how to truly understand the world around you was built on shaky ground. What if the way you've been approaching every problem, every decision, and even your relationships has been wrong, because you've been doing it all without even realizing it? What if I told you that there's a deceptively simple tool, a centuries-old technique, that has the power to completely transform your life? It's not some new age self-help fad, nor is it some quick-fix solution. This is a method so powerful, it can completely reshape the way you think, approach challenges, and discover meaning in your everyday life. And the best part? It's been around for over 2 millennia, hidden in plain sight. It's called the Socratic Method. At first glance, it might seem like just a way to ask questions, nothing groundbreaking, right? But hold that thought. Let me ask you this: have you ever found yourself caught in the same patterns of thinking, the same mental traps, over and over again? Have you ever felt like you're just going through the motions, without truly understanding the world or the decisions you make in it? Think about it. How many times have you been told to just follow your gut or trust your instincts, only to find yourself wondering if your instincts were leading you astray? Or worse, when was the last time you found yourself in a heated debate, only to realize afterward that you didn't truly know why you felt the way you did? You might have won the argument, but did you win any real clarity? Did you win a deeper understanding of yourself? Here's the contradiction, the real paradox, that has been shaping your reality all this time. Most people believe that the answers to life's biggest questions can be found in what we already know, in facts, in knowledge, in the right answers. But what if the right answer isn't what you need at all? What if the true power lies not in what you know, but in how you think? In how you challenge your beliefs, question your assumptions, and continuously refine your understanding of the world? Imagine, for a moment, that your entire approach to life could be flipped upside down. You could unlock your mind, break free from societal conditioning, and start asking the right questions, the questions that reveal the deepest truths not just about the world, but about yourself. What if the answers you seek are already within you, just waiting for the right question to unlock them? The Socratic Method gives you the power to break free from the fog of assumption, ignorance, and unquestioned beliefs. It's not about finding the right answer, it's about cultivating a process that helps you uncover truth after truth, layer by layer. It teaches you how to think more deeply, to challenge what you've always believed, and most importantly, to discover the truth for yourself. But here's the thing: once you start using the Socratic Method, you can never go back. Once you experience the kind of clarity that comes from truly understanding why you believe what you believe, it changes you. It forces you to look at the world, and yourself, in an entirely different way. It's a path to intellectual freedom, a key to unlocking your fullest potential. But how do you even begin? Let me take you deeper into this. Because if you truly want to change your life forever, you need to understand something that most people will never realize until it's too late. Stay with me. The real power of the Socratic Method is not just in questioning the world around you. It's in understanding the unseen consequences of living without questioning. And that's where this journey gets really interesting. Now, before you dismiss this as just another philosophical exercise, let me ask you something deeper. Have you ever felt like you're not truly living, but merely existing? Have you ever caught yourself running through life on autopilot, reacting to situations without really thinking about why you react the way you do? You might make decisions, but do you ever stop to consider why you're making them? And even when the results are less than satisfying, how often do you reflect on the root cause of the dissatisfaction? You see, the problem isn't that you're not trying hard enough or that you're incapable of finding the answers. The problem is far more subtle, and it's woven into the very fabric of how you've been conditioned to think. The truth is, the majority of us are caught in a mental trap, a trap built on a foundation of assumptions, unexamined beliefs, and habits that dictate how we view the world. These are the hidden, unconscious patterns of thought that guide nearly every aspect of your life. And yet, you may not even be aware of them. The question is, how can you see something you've never even realized is there? This is where the Socratic Method comes in. It's a tool designed to expose these hidden assumptions and force you to confront the very ideas that are shaping your behavior, ideas you may have never thought to question. Without this kind of deep questioning, your mind operates like a computer with a faulty program. You react without understanding why. You make decisions based on shallow assumptions that society has conditioned you to believe, but those assumptions might not be true at all. Think about how we're conditioned from an early age. We are taught to prioritize immediate answers, quick fixes, and certainties. We live in a world that values speed over depth, certainty over questioning. Here's the answer. Take it. Move on. The emphasis is on conclusions rather than the process of discovery. Think about the last time you were in school. Were you taught how to think deeply, or were you just taught what to think? Most of us are taught how to memorize, to repeat, and to conform to the expectations of the world around us, but we're rarely taught how to truly explore the ideas that form the foundation of our beliefs. The truth is, this unconscious way of thinking is what traps us. It prevents us from growing. It keeps us from seeing the world for what it truly is. This kind of thinking leads to a kind of intellectual stagnation, where we believe that the answers to our biggest questions are already out there, neatly packaged and handed to us. The reality is much more complex, and far more exciting. What makes this even more dangerous is the fact that this trap doesn't just affect your thoughts, it affects your emotions, your relationships, and your choices. Without the Socratic Method, you're more likely to make emotional decisions based on beliefs that you haven't questioned. You'll get stuck in patterns of thinking, patterns of behavior, patterns of living, that reinforce the very beliefs that keep you from breaking free. Consider how we approach relationships. How often do we assume we understand others? We interpret their words, their actions, and their silence based on what we believe to be true, not necessarily what is true. We project our own assumptions onto others, and as a result, misunderstandings, conflict, and frustration become inevitable. The same goes for the way we view our careers, our ambitions, and our goals. Are you truly pursuing what you desire, or are you following a path because it's what society told you to do? Are your choices rooted in the reflection of who you really are, or are they shaped by what you've been conditioned to believe? The unexamined life is a life of reaction, not of intention. And living in reaction isn't living at all, it's simply drifting through the motions without ever questioning whether those motions are taking you where you truly want to go. This is the unseen trap, the one that operates just below the surface of your everyday awareness. It's the quiet voice telling you that things should be a certain way, even when deep down, you know something feels off. It's the nagging feeling that you're not truly in control, that you're always playing catch-up with life, never fully mastering your own thoughts and actions. But what if I told you that this invisible force could be broken? What if you could shatter the mental cage that holds you, unlock the box of assumptions you've been living in, and begin to live a life of true freedom, freedom to think, to create, to evolve? That's where the Socratic Method comes in. It's not just about asking questions, it's about breaking free from the assumptions that have been dictating your life. It's about challenging what you believe, questioning your deepest convictions, and starting from scratch to build a clearer, more accurate picture of who you are and what the world around you is really about. But to truly begin this journey, there's something even more critical you need to understand. In order to break free from the unseen consequences of mindlessly accepting the world as it is, you need to shift your perspective. And that shift? Well, that's the next step in this transformative journey. Stay with me, because what comes next is the revolution your mind has been waiting for. Now that you can see the mental chains holding you down, those hidden assumptions, those unconscious beliefs, you might be wondering, how do I break free? How do you escape this web of thought that has been woven over years, maybe even decades? How do you shatter the glass ceiling of the mind and truly understand the world, without being bogged down by the biases and limitations of unexamined beliefs? The answer is deceptively simple, and yet, it's revolutionary. You begin by questioning everything. Yes, everything. This isn't some abstract philosophy. This is the core of the Socratic Method. And here's the secret: by learning how to ask the right questions, you can unlock insights that will radically change your life. What makes this method so powerful is that it's not about looking for the right answers, it's about learning to think deeply, to break down the surface-level knowledge we're constantly fed, and to understand why we believe what we believe. Most of us are conditioned to search for certainty, for quick answers, for finality. We're told that answers are the end of the road, the destination. But here's the radical truth: the process of questioning is the path to real freedom. It's in the act of questioning itself that the transformation happens. Imagine for a moment, instead of reacting automatically to every situation, you pause and ask yourself, why do I feel this way? You don't just accept your thoughts as truth. You challenge them. You dig deeper, asking questions like, is this belief really mine? Where did it come from? What assumptions am I making that I've never questioned before? The beauty of the Socratic Method is that it doesn't give you the answers. It gives you the tools to discover them for yourself. It turns you into a self-guided philosopher, a lifelong learner who is always questioning, always digging deeper into the foundations of your own thinking. It helps you become aware of the assumptions that shape your worldview and forces you to confront them. Think of it as a mental detox. Just like your body needs to cleanse itself of toxins, your mind needs to detox from the poison of unquestioned beliefs. These beliefs, the ones you carry about the world, about other people, about yourself, are often like invisible walls, limiting your ability to see the full scope of reality. They keep you confined within narrow boundaries of understanding, constantly reacting to life instead of creating it. Here's where things get radical. The more you question, the more you begin to see that everything you once thought you knew is just a model, a lens through which you've been viewing the world. And like any model, it's inherently incomplete and imperfect. This realization can be jarring at first. It can feel like the ground beneath you has shifted, like everything you've built your life on is suddenly unsure. But here's the key: the more you question, the more your world opens up. You no longer need to rely on surface-level judgments or external validation. You begin to see the world not as a series of pre-packaged answers, but as an ever-evolving field of exploration, one that you are fully equipped to navigate. You're beginning to reclaim control. You are no longer a passive participant in the game of life. You've learned how to think critically, to challenge everything, and to dig deeper into every belief and assumption that you've inherited from society, culture, and even your own past experiences. And through this process, you take back the power that was once ceded to external influences. This kind of radical shift in perspective doesn't just change the way you think, it changes the way you feel. You start making decisions based on insight, not impulse. You begin to understand your emotions better because you can trace them back to the thoughts and beliefs that triggered them. You start noticing patterns in your relationships and in your behavior that you never saw before. You start recognizing the mental programming that shaped your reactions, and you can actively choose to break free from it. Throughout history, the greatest thinkers, revolutionaries, and innovators didn't break free from the status quo by following the conventional wisdom of their time. They broke free by questioning everything. Think of Socrates himself. He was famously sentenced to death for challenging the ideas and beliefs of Athenian society. Or consider figures like Galileo, who defied the established church and the very scientific consensus of his time in order to pursue a deeper truth about the universe. The Socratic Method is an invitation to become part of this intellectual revolution. It's a call to stop living by default, to stop taking your beliefs and assumptions for granted, and to begin a journey of intellectual and personal emancipation. It's a rebellion against mental passivity, against conformity, against the unquestioned ideas that shape your world. So, what does it look like to break free? It's not about finding all the answers, because the journey of questioning never truly ends. It's about developing the mindset of a truth seeker, one who is relentless in their pursuit of clarity and understanding. It's about taking back the power to shape your own thoughts, to choose your own path, and to construct a worldview that reflects not just what others tell you is true, but what you discover is true through your own questioning. This journey requires patience, persistence, and courage. It's about embracing the discomfort that comes with not having immediate answers and learning to live with ambiguity as you piece together the puzzle of your existence. But once you've experienced the power of truly questioning, once you've tasted the freedom that comes from thinking for yourself, there's no going back. You're not just reclaiming your mind. You're reclaiming your life. But that's just the beginning. The true power of this method doesn't lie in breaking free from external influences or past conditioning. It lies in the ultimate truth that emerges from this radical shift in perspective. And that's where things get even more profound. What you discover next will redefine everything. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal will change how you see the world forever. Now that you've begun to challenge your assumptions, to question the unquestioned, and to see through the lens of the Socratic Method, there's one last, most powerful truth waiting for you, or a realization that will forever change the way you understand your life, the world, and your place in it. Here's the paradox you've been leading up to: the more you question, the more you realize that the answers you've been desperately seeking were never the real point at all. You see, the truth is not a final destination, it's a process. And it's a process that is endlessly evolving. What if I told you that true wisdom is not about accumulating knowledge or finding the right answers, it's about learning how to live with the discomfort of not knowing? Imagine waking up each day with the understanding that you will never have all the answers. But instead of feeling lost or overwhelmed, you begin to embrace this uncertainty, this mystery of life, as the very thing that propels you forward. Here's the ultimate revelation: the journey itself is the destination. By embracing the Socratic Method, you are no longer bound by the need to have everything figured out. Instead, you are free to explore, to grow, and to question without the pressure of arriving at a final, absolute truth. It's not about conquering the world with knowledge, it's about learning how to think, how to be in the world, how to engage with ideas and the people around you with openness, curiosity, and a constant willingness to evolve. This is the most profound shift you can make. You stop seeing life as a puzzle to be solved, and you start seeing it as a conversation to be had. This is where the Socratic Method becomes a way of life, not just an intellectual tool, but a deeply spiritual practice. You realize that the more you engage with life through this method, the more you open yourself to the unfolding of new insights, new perspectives, and new possibilities. The world is no longer a static set of facts to memorize, it's a dynamic, ever-changing landscape, and you are its most active explorer. In this process, you begin to understand something deeply liberating: you are not your beliefs. You are not the sum of the things you've learned or the answers you've been told to accept. The act of questioning doesn't just shake the foundations of your worldview, it shakes the very identity you've built. And in that moment of uncertainty, of discomfort, you find something much more profound than knowledge. You find freedom. The freedom to continuously redefine yourself, to evolve without the weight of a fixed identity, and to engage with the world in a way that is constantly alive and growing. This freedom, though, comes with responsibility. It's not about seeking answers to feel better or more secure, it's about seeking answers that expand your horizons, challenge your ego, and break down the mental barriers that prevent you from truly seeing the world as it is. Think about the great philosophers, the innovators, the trailblazers of human history. The ones who changed the course of civilization didn't cling to the answers that society handed them. They understood that the search for truth is endless, and they dedicated themselves to a life of relentless inquiry. This is the power of the Socratic Method. It places you in the same lineage as those who dared to question, those who dared to face the unknown, and those who discovered something far greater than certainty. They discovered the process of becoming. As you begin to apply the Socratic Method to your own life, you'll notice that this constant questioning transforms you. Your relationships will deepen. Your decisions will become more thoughtful, more aligned with your true values. You'll stop reacting out of fear, frustration, or confusion, and instead, you'll respond with insight, awareness, and understanding. And perhaps most importantly, you'll stop measuring your success or failure based on external benchmarks, and you'll begin to measure it against something far more meaningful, your own growth. Because true success isn't about achieving a final goal, it's about the continual process of self-discovery and self-overcoming. The more you question, the more you grow. Now, imagine living your life from this place, with an open, questioning mind, with a heart willing to embrace the uncertainty of existence, and with a soul dedicated to the never-ending process of becoming. This is the ultimate truth, the deepest realization you could ever have. It's the realization that life, in all its mystery and complexity, is not something to be solved, it's something to be lived, fully, deeply, and without hesitation. So, where does that leave you now? The Socratic Method is not just a philosophy to study, it's a way to live. Every moment becomes an opportunity to ask the right questions, to dig deeper, to see beyond the surface. When you begin to truly live this way, you'll start to see the world as a place of infinite possibility, where answers are just the beginning of deeper questions. This journey, this never-ending process of questioning and discovery, will be the most profound, liberating, and fulfilling experience of your life. And now, the question is, are you ready to begin? Because the world you see today, with all its limitations, all its confusion, all its contradictions, it's only the beginning. What you discover next will redefine everything you've ever believed. The road to self-mastery, to true understanding, starts with a single question: what do I really know? And once you ask that, you'll find that the world opens up in ways you never imagined. This is the power of the Socratic Method. This is the key to unlocking the deepest truths of your existence. Now, go ahead, start asking. The answers are waiting.